Hello everybody. Hey, welcome guys. So this is completely different today. I'm just going a bit mad. I want to try something different. So I want to try and create this image in one line. So I've only got one line to complete the image. I'm not allowed to take my pen off the paper. And if that's not hard enough, I'm also going to paint first, just to mix things up. I want to try and break away from my usual habits, and by doing this I'm forcing myself to try something different. So I mean, it could finish as an absolute mess, or I might be onto something that I really enjoy. So I think it's a worthwhile challenge. I will be using a pencil first though, just to block in some basic shapes. I'm not cheating, otherwise I'm just wasting my paint and wasting my time and wasting my paper. So I'm just going to block in some basic shapes, then I'm going to paint, and I'm not going to be painting as in, you know, detailed, true to colour. I'm just going to sort of grab any old colour as long as I think it looks nice. I think the blue and the orange, of course, will be there. The oranges or whatever they are in the back, pumpkins, melons, I don't know, and of course the blue truck. But yeah, if you want to loosen up with your sketches and stop being so stiff and boring, then I suppose this is one way to guarantee that, at least. So could be onto a winner. I don't know, it could go terribly. It could look like a 3-year-old drew it, probably. That's probably what's going to happen, but we'll have a go. Right. So for me now, these days, most important thing is looking at my page and thinking where I want this image to go. I'm kind of giving myself a little frame. I don't want to be going straight off the page like I used to do when I first started, when I was learning. I used to use all the page and it looks bad, in my opinion. So I want to make it look a bit classy, even if it's 3-year-old drawing. There's still a bit of class going on. So this truck, I think this is where my image is going to end, and it's going to be this truck. So we'll have the boxes sort of by there. Truck. And you can see, I'm not lying, I am genuinely being true here. This is going to be super loose, as loose as you can go, I'd say, because I'm doing all the elements that force you to be loose. Don't even know what that is there, but see, I'm already getting carried away. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm just going to move on. I was going to keep adding things in there then. So this is where all the oranges are. Just going to do some, well, I say oranges, I mean they're rather large oranges. Whatever they are. Pumpkins. Melons. I've never seen orange melons though. I mean, only in Benidorm. Oh, it's just it's the wrong channel for that talk, isn't it? Right. Tyres, I do apologise. This sketch has actually worked out a lot better than I planned. Right, I don't know what this is. A bloody Chester units or something. A little drawer bedroom unit. So whatever. There's some more melons on the floor. Boxes, crates. So we're just gonna, I mean, this is gonna be, already I'm looking at this thinking, happily take my time on this. It could be a cool image, but I won't. The umbrella is gonna go about there. Then and there's sort of a bigger canopy type umbrella there. I'm gonna cool it for the lorry, because the way it's going, it's already going to become too stiff, and I'm going to be disappointed when it comes to my one line picture. I'm going to fail. There's a big fat palm tree by there. Just going to try and block in the main shape of that. I mean, there's all sorts going on in the background. Don't even know where to start. There's a building there, hotel building. There's other buildings going on. There's a building there, and there's a mountain there, and another building there. I mean, there's all sorts of boats and people, blah blah. There's another path there with a big bush in the road. That's gonna do. See, that didn't take too long. How long did that take? Don't actually know, but does it say? Oh, there you go, 5 minutes, and that's with me rabbling. So let's just get a big unforgiving brush, big mop brush, Pro Art, of course, and let's just start dipping into some crazy colours. I'm going to start with the orange because I think that's essential. It's one of the brightest spots on here. I'm going to do a little bit of mixing because I've only got cadmium orange, I haven't got Spanish orange. I want to lighten it up a touch for certain areas. So, right, let's go crazy. Super wet, super fun. Let's go. Oranges. Oranges there, oranges down there. There's a few scattered all over the place. I'm even going to do a few more by there. Can we put a bit of red in there? Possibly. We could possibly drop some red in. Right, that'll do. We are going to need red for this next umbrella, so I'm just getting some red ready for that one. A bit of Elysian crimson as well, and we have a bit on the top of there. I didn't want to go too precise, to be fair, but it's the way it goes. You get carried away, and this is what I'm trying to get away from. Some blue, let it all run and smudge and blend, do whatever it wants to do. Right, the blue of the van now. Now I'm not going to try and be precise with it. I'm actually running out of paint here. I haven't actually got any cerulean, so I'm going to have to go ultramarine, I think. It's just not enough pigment. That's all gone running into each other, which I thought it might. Okay, that's fine. Let's go mad. More ultramarine in some parts. This is probably too wet. It's going to take about 5 years to dry. Let's try and get a bit of this turquoise at the bottom. And we got some boxes. So I'm just going to go straight in with yellow ochre. Wow. We've gone... we've taken it to the extreme, haven't we? Let's be honest. And let's put a bit of variation there. So because we got that blue, the road I think is going to be, let's just do ultramarine, and then why not just splash a few random colours about. Background has got to be really crazy. Now I need to quickly just get some splatters going on, which could be a challenge because this brush holds too much water, so I'm just not picking up the splatter. There we go. Bit of pink there, bit of pink, and try and get a bit of the cerulean there. Of course, the orange and the lemon yellow. And a bit of cadmium red as well. Now you're probably thinking, what on earth has happened to this guy? He was full of promise, he wanted to learn, and now look at him. But, you know, sometimes we need to just change things up, do different to what we normally do if we're looking to change certain things. And yeah, I think this is certainly... it's certainly different. I'm just going to use with the rigger, I'm just going to go in with some burnt sienna in certain areas. I don't even know why. What about this palm tree? Yeah, we could do that. We could do that palm tree, and we could even go absolutely ballistic with this palm tree. Right, that's enough for the paint. That's got to dry. So we'll let that dry now. If you take a careful look, some of them are really not making a nice mix together, but that's okay, it's fine. This is more about what it looks like at the end. Look at the texture on some of them. Especially the lavender, it's like scaled. Right, that's probably going to take a wee while to dry, so join me back when it is. Hey guys, welcome back. So as you can see, this is now bone dry. It was literally puddles on the page, and I didn't use a hairdryer. I waited because I didn't want to blow the water everywhere and make it more of a mess than it may have already been. Saying that, could have used a hairdryer, you know, just held it up higher and waved it about, but I had some stuff to do anyway. So anyway, literally 3-4 hours ago this was now. So yeah, this is what we got. As you can see, the paint has covered all my pencil marks, so I am going back in freehand or freestyle with the drawing. There is just one thing that I am concerned about, so I'm just going to have a trial with which pen to use, because going over paint, I imagine it's going to come out thicker. I imagine the line is going to be thicker. I don't want it to be so thick that it doesn't look attractive in any way. So I'm just going to try and find an old painting I don't care for. Plenty of them. Let's say this one, and I'm just going to give it a little test to see. I mean, you can see straight away how thick that is. So I have a dilemma. Do I go for that one? I don't think there's any ink in my orange one. I'll just dig that out a sec and cause a right mess. So I don't think I got ink in this. That ball's dropping quite hard. I think it's empty. I mean, I might start off. Nah, there's not enough ink flow in that for me. Have a couple more. Again, really thick though, really thick. So, I mean, let's try a 0.3 if I can find a 0.3. Just a fine liner. .3. Again, this is old. Is there even any ink in this? It's a terrible start. It's a terrible start. Not enough ink in that. Am I liking? We have a problem. There's a 0.1. This is probably going to be too thin to go confidently over thick paint. I think that could cause some issues scratching up the paint and clogging up the pen. Didn't think this through, did I? It's not as if I got a fancy fountain pen which will just go over anything. Well, saying that, I think I'm doing them too much service there. They're just as scratchy. 0.5. Right, so it's between 0.5. Putting up with this breaking up every 2 seconds seems to be okay. Seems to be okay there. No ink flow there. Tell you what. One final check. So it's between that 0.5 and my original plan, which was the big green one, but I'm going to go with it. We're going to go with the old big boy 3.5. Could go wrong. Who cares? Let's have a crack. Right. Here we go then. Just freehand. Not allowed to take the pen back off the page. This is going to be interesting because A, this scratches and breaks up. Sometimes you have to. B, it's going to be very thick and hard to control. And C, I don't know if it's going to scratch because I'm using the corner. If it's going to scratch up too much ink. Let's just get stuck in. Right, here we go. Not allowed to take my pen off the paper. Let's see if we can do it. I'm going to work left to right purely for smudge reasons. So it's not as if I'm just going with the drawing. I'm actually doing that so that I don't smudge ink everywhere. And yeah, this is going to be a challenge, I'm telling you. I'm already planning strokes and thinking about lifting my my pen. Let's go for it, right? I'm going to hold it a bit further down. Right, here we go. Pen is still not left. I'm already feeling uncomfortable. I should have held it higher up. And it stopped working. It stopped working. Can I just switch like that? Does that count? Are you going to let me off for that? I'm going to stop working again. I'm going to switch back. This pen is not the one. Right, let's soldier on. Some more stuff there. There's some little headlights there. Right, just so you are aware, I have not actually taken my pen off the page yet. Even though sometimes I have to spin it because it stops working. It's done it again. I reckon I would have done this. I think I would have successfully passed the challenge. But it's not letting me. That's a damn shame, folks. I was having fun there. It's not coming back either, is it? It's not coming back. I'm not gonna accept that as a fail. I'm gonna put that down to a technical error. Right, I know something that does go straight over everything. It's this. I mean, I've never really used it to finish a line work before because it's really thick. Just do a test line. Right, we're going to continue with this and pretend that never happened. Right, we're still on. Still on. Right, let's get these oranges in. Quite like those, they're cool. Some boxes up there. Right, here we go. Umbrella number 1. Goes down there. Umbrella number 2. Down there. And then we can whoosh into this umbrella by there. Right, let's get some of this in then. Palm tree by there. Whooshy whoosh. Bit of a road. That plant bushy thing I mentioned. And let's go back down to these boxes. I tell you what, this pen is actually bomb proof. I'll tell you more about it in a minute. Let me just get it done. It was never really bought for the intention of urban sketching. It's more just something you might actually have at home. Right, let's try and see what happens here with all this background. This could make it look a bit too crazy, to be fair. See if we can draw some people. Ah, what the hell. Right, let me go back to comfortable mode. Right, believe it or not, that's people, okay? Thanks. Boat in the background. Things. There's a building there. There's a building there. Then we got that big hotel building there. And as you can see, we got 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, I'm still actually haven't lifted the thing. See if I can get a bit of that mountain going in now. And I'm just going to whoosh back down here a sec, because I'll tell you what, I'm looking for an easier route back over to try. I'm going to try and be a bit cocky and get some patterning on my umbrella. And I'm going to try and do a bit of this building as well. Guys, I think I'm about done. That'll do. That'll do. I'm dying to add more. I'm dying to add one more. Right. Listen, I've already failed anyway. My pen failed me. But I tell you what, I'm quite happy with the funny, crazy sort of... crazy look it gives. It's quite mad. It's quite crazy. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So this pen, just before I forget, Uniball I. It's made by Mitsubishi, and this one is the Fine. It's waterproof, fade proof, it's all of that. That's 100%. Wouldn't even be in my bag if it wasn't. Gives a nice rich black ink as well. Would have rather used my carbon black, to be honest, but like I say, they do cause a bit of an issue, these. All fountain pens and the Fine nibs, they sort of clog up when you scratch against the paper. especially when there's paint on there. A few strokes, there's a bit of a cloggage. The ink flow stops. With this, it's like a roller ball, so it just bounces over everything. Brilliant. Interesting. So I've learned something. I wanted to learn something from it. Another thing I've learned is I really enjoyed that. That was fun. It was effortless. There was no pressure. And I think it looks quite cool because it kind of forces you to make your own mind up. You know? What do you think? Kind of like it. Of course you could always just go back in and go a bit bonkers if you wanted. You could add shadows here and shadows there. If you wanted to add a bit more to it as well. I always do this near enough every picture lately. Even the ones I actually take my time on, because you can get some, you know, when you're doing your darks, you can get some really good straight darks with these tombos. Brilliant. Again, it varies it up, doesn't it, and it gives it just a little bit more interest. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that. It was fun, good fun that was. You can even, if you wanted to, like I am now, give your work a little bit of depth if you really wanted to. Fade that in a bit, that's a bit severe by there, isn't it? It's another thing I like about these tombos, you can blend them, fade them. Don't want to go too mad with it. Twill do, maybe some windows. Just leave that there. Well, that was interesting, guys. I feel like I've learnt how to loosen up a bit there and trust the process a bit better. Another thing with these is they will pick up the colour underneath if you do it when it's just slightly damp. It'll pick up that watercolour and you can start spreading all sorts of random colours all over the place. Yeah, so I'll have a little closer look and see what you think. I think it looks quite fun. Quite a unique little twist. When you think about, you know, the effort I put in is minimal. Quite a cool way to do it. So what I did is just a little recap. Let me put you back down so you're not having vertigo. Little recap. We did a little pencil sketch just so we knew where to paint. You know, just to give ourselves some shapes to paint. We painted those shapes. We weren't really being careful. We painted those shapes with some local colours and some not, like the purples and the pinks and the oranges over there. The reason we use these is to bounce off the blue, you know, so the blue and the oranges work together so well. That's what gives it a little bit of magic. A little bit of green for the tree is just enough, and yeah, obviously we didn't really approach an issue until the end, when the pen was too scratchy and it wasn't. And I mean, this is smooth paper as well, so you can imagine on cold press, this is hot press. On cold press, you're really going to be bouncing and digging. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. So Mitsubishi Uniball, that's your guy. That's your guy. To be fair, I think the 0.5 probably would have done it, maybe, but I wanted something a bit more expressive. Let's do a few strokes to see if it would have worked. Yeah, it's clogging already. It's too fine. Too fine over the thick paint. So, nope, wouldn't have worked. But the Uniball didn't even slow down. It just stayed full bomb-proof power all the way through. There is one more thing that I could do, which is add more darks to give it a bit of pop. And the reason I'm thinking this is because at the bottom, I know I've done these type of things, not like this, but similar messy colours. And when you give it a little bit of dark, it makes those colours seem brighter and more jumpy, you know. So basically adding contrast is going to really make some parts pop out. So what I might do is just a couple, I mean not much, just in the focus area where I want people to look. So just a couple of lines like that, and what I do is I blend it in. So I'll get the black, which is N15, and then take like the N75, which is really mild, and you can sort of, you can blend it, see. You can pull it. I just thought it might make certain things jump and pop a bit more, maybe not. Maybe not, who knows. Who knows? Right, that's me done. Definitely putting the pens away now, because I will carry on and on until it looks pathetic. I'm already looking at... I looked straight at the reference photo and thought, oh, I should do that badge. That's it. It's done. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you got something out of it. I certainly did, because I enjoyed it so much. But this line, this one line drawing, I mean, I wouldn't call it difficult. I think it's quite easy. But you have to observe your reference image first, have an idea of where you're going, and constantly tell yourself not to pick that pen up. Even if you think you've made a mistake, carry on. You've seen a few times I went from over here back to over there to do a bit of this building. So sort of did a bit of that mountain and thought, oh, I'll do a bit of that building. So I sort of made my way, you know, just scribbled my way through, going over lines I'd already gone past. And easy. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.